Who is cold in Florida? It's like 44 degrees here. Anyway, so I really want to get on here quick to just let you know. So the last couple of nights, the Lord's been waking me up at like 5 a.m. And I've been asking God, like, what is it that you want to speak to me? What do you want to say to me? Because a lot of times, some people, the Lord be waking you up in the middle of the night, and you just think, oh, I'm just getting up to go to the bathroom. Instead of the Lord, you not realizing that the Lord is waking you up, because that's the most intimate time that you get up, where you're not all in your logic and all in your brain. You're really just really rested. It's the most vulnerable time for God to be able to speak to you and get to you what needs to be spoken. So if you haven't, I teach that in my program, just letting them know how to hear from God and things like that. But that's not what I'm here to say. I want to share with you, like, the last couple of nights he's been waking me up. And then last night he woke me up at 4. And I was like, okay, the last couple of nights I was up at 5 and now I'm up at 4. Like, God, what is it that you're trying to get to me at this time? And I was listening to a training yesterday by one of my spiritual leaders, Shannon Yvette. And it had confirmed something that I heard before, by the way. So I was listening to her, and she was like, if you are dealing with like financial issues, if you're dealing with something in your finances just not being taken care of, or it's a struggle in that area, then it is definitely meaning there's something demonic that still have a hold on you. Wherever that is, it's some area of your life that has a hold on you. And so because God called us to be prosperous, right? God said that he came to give us life and give it to us abundantly. Abundant is not just money, but money's in there, right? To be prosperous. Because yes, money don't buy us happiness, but neither does being broke either. Neither does poverty. You're not happy there neither. Anyway, so I'm like, okay. So then I'm up last night, or this morning I should say, at 4 o'clock this morning, and I'm asking God, like, what is this? What's this demonic thing that's been hindering me in this area of finances? Because I do everything and I just can't figure out why it's not going right. And so the Lord brought me back to a situation over, like, my family. I had to think about, like, what has my bloodline struggled with? What are some of the things that we've struggled with consistently? And one of those things is homelessness, but not homelessness in the sense of being on the streets, but homelessness in the sense of having to live with someone else because I can't afford to buy my own home. So I'm living with my sister, and living with the mama, or living with whatever, multiple different family members having to live with other people because they just couldn't afford to for their own home over the years. I don't mean just now when everything's so expensive. I mean over the years, from like the 90s, as far back as I can remember, because I was born in the 80s. So as far as back from the 90s, I remember family members having to live with other family members because just can't be in afford. So I'm like, okay, homelessness is one of those things, because we've had haven't had to deal with something's trying to, anyway, I'm gonna keep on talking. Something's messing up on my phone, but I'm gonna keep on talking. And then one of those other things is poverty, and not poverty in the sense that we just so broke that we can't survive, but having just enough. I can pay my bills, but that's just enough. Not having the overabundance to be able to take care of my kids to the fullest, being able to travel and have fun and just be joyful and not even have to think about money. So when God brought those two things to me, in the Bible it says that when you identify the thief owes you 7 times for all the losses that you take. The thief owes you 7 times for the things that you've had to endure once you identify it. So I'm like, okay, I identify homelessness, I identified poverty. So then I'm up and I'm like speaking out, and it don't have to be loud and all over the place. It could be quiet, because I know my authority. I know my authority. I know what God gave me. All I gotta do is speak to it and say, I rebuke this out of my bloodline. I cast it out to the abyss. I bind it up and I cast it out to the sea. No longer will my bloodline have to deal with poverty. No longer will my bloodline have to deal with homelessness. We are established and rooted. You said that you promised us land that my ancestors have given me, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and I believe that when you said that. So I expect my land to be coming to me. You said that you came to give me life and give it to me abundantly. I expect that. You said no eye has seen, no ear has heard, or neither has it entered into the hearts and minds of man what you are doing for me. I believe you when you said that. You said I will be blessed when I go in and blessed when I come out. I believe you when you said that. So the thief has to give me back what is mine. What is mine. See, if I was just being passive about my life and not being intentional about my life, I could have just woke up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning all those times and just was like, Lord, why are you getting me up? Go to the bathroom, drink some water or whatever, and then lay back down. But because I'm intentional about my life, because legacy is important to me, because breaking bloodline curses off of my family is important to me, because I don't want my children to ever have to endure the things I've endured. That's why I do what I do. So some of you guys are dealing with curses that you didn't even bring into your family, that it was brought into from somebody else, but no one had the power, or no one had the, what's the word I want to say? No one had the, I guess I'll say power. No one had the power to want to do it. No, everyone was too scared, too fearful, or just wanted to be in the world and not wanting to deal with that. They just rather just go on about life and think our life is just out here by happenstance and nothing really is that deep, and just be shallow. No one wants to have that sense of what's the word, leadership. There's a different word I'm trying to use, but I can't think of it. But no one want to take a lead in that. And for me, I was like, I'm gonna take the lead in that. Like Queen Esther, I'm gonna rise and I'm gonna save my people, and I don't care what comes up against me, and I don't care what I have to do. But at the end of the day, what my bloodline, what my family, what my grandmother, what my mother, what my great grandmother have suffered with on both sides of my family, I refuse for my children to have to do that. So it stops with me. So I may have had to deal with those things because of that, because of those curses, or because of the things that was on my family. But I am a generational curse breaker, and I will be generationally blessed and passing down generational blessings to my children and my children's children, because the Bible says that a man leaves an inheritance for his children. So my children will have an inheritance from me, not just for money, but they'll have an inheritance of love and peace. They won't have to worry about the things that I've had to endure and go through. And I know this conversation is deep for some people, and some people don't have the wherewithal to be able to understand. It just goes over their head. But I advise you that now more than ever, that you get deep in your word, and that you start reading your Bible, and you decide that you want to have a real relationship with God, not just prayer for thanks, but a real intimate relationship with God, because your life ain't just here just for no reason. There is a reason why you're here. There is a reason why God birthed you, but you have to decide what that was with him and have a conversation with him. And you can't get there. You cannot get there by not being intentional, by not praying. You can't get there unless you're ready to go deep and get to those wounds and get to those things that needs to be healed in your life. So I hope this helps you today. I hope this really helps get to your mind. I hope it really helps you where you are in your life right now. I want to let you know that the Wise Wealthy Wife program starts on February 8th. I'm taking it's a membership program, so you'll pay a monthly membership for the program. Even though it starts February 8th, you can sign up right now, and there's digital courses in there that you can start taking right now but February 8th is the first live session that you'll be having with me. And this membership is for everyone who is struggling in relationships, who's been in domestic violence relationships, who's dealt with just relationally things, whether you are masculine and you want to get back into your femininity again, right? Or if you're struggling financially and you just don't know why. And being struggling financially doesn't necessarily mean you're broke. It could mean that you made 6 figures and you just topped off there and you can't get to the next, right? It could mean that you made your first million and you want to be a multimillionaire and you can't make it to the next and you can't figure out why. So struggling financially is different for everybody. But it's for women who just really are ready to learn who they are in God, what they're here for, to walk in purpose, to walk in your calling, to get to a space where you are totally free of having to depend on other people, and you can depend on just you. And once you get to that preparation of preparing you, then you'll be ready for your husband. It's called Wise Wealthy Wife. Wise. I made wisdom wise the first word, because you got to be wise to be a wife. You can't just be marrying anybody. You got to marry a specific person that's fit for your life, which is why it's called Wise Wealthy Wife. So I hope this helps you. You guys have a blessed and prosperous day. Enjoy. Peace and prosperity to you. Bye, guys.